we're on another bee rescue mission. We've got to find some bees in an old sweat box, which is what they used to take the fruit to the market in when they were strong young men before forklifts. So I've got a fruit grower over here that's got the mini shed. He's getting a bit sick of them attacking him when he lights up, well, when he starts up his old tractor. So he's giving me a hoy and we're off to give him a rescue. But we'll see what happens. Hopefully when we pick the box up, we don't bloody end up with a box with a boot full of bees. That would be kind of crap, wouldn't it? Boot full of bees. Not our boot's not the boot. Anyway, off to Renmark. Here we go, the Bush Bee Rescue. We can become the Bush Bee Rescue team instead of the Bush Bee Man. There's one saying hello. Oh, I can see the two here already.
And there's two there, so that'd be easy for you to lift out.
Yeah. Goodness me, eh? That'd be very busy. What are you doing, ladies? Just thinking these boxes here is what they used to put the... Was it dry fruit or fresh fruit?
Dry fruit.
Dry fruit, which is even heavier. Yeah, we should feel his muscles.
Sultan is hey. Sultan is 14 of them to the ton.
Oh my God. That is heavy. And now we're not even allowed to lift 10 kilos. No. They got the bags of this big.
Yeah. Christmas when they moved in there.
Oh, we've got a ladder. Oh, look at this. Oh, more than modern conveniences. Tell you what, we're getting looked after. Oh shit, don't go through there though. That was a bad idea. Man, I'm having flat out lucky just lifting the box, never mind being full of fruit. It's the truth. How did you lads do that?
I don't know.
Oh my God. Shit, young fella, I bet you're glad you don't have to do that. Yeah, I reckon. Have a look at them there. Hold on. We might just go and get ourselves a sheet. I might have to go and get a suit on before we get too excited. Oh, they didn't like that idea. They're like, what the hell? Okay, that'll be a start. What have we got down there? We've got a nail down there. Yeah. This could get interesting, this bit. I'm just going to see how heavy the jolly thing is. Alright, might not be too crazy. We might be in with luck. Oh, well, I think I'm going to go and put my bee suit on because I don't like that idea. We might all get very swollen. This could be a silly idea.
Wouldn't be your first one.
No, true. The things we do, honestly. I reckon if we put that... Another one of Mother's flash bed sheets. No expense spared here. Well, at this stage, because they're in that nice confined box, I reckon we'll just slide them across onto that bench and see if they get really stupid. If they don't get really stupid, we won't smoke them. If they get really silly, we'll come and light the smoker up. We'll just see. Because that's the next, I don't know, like most things, we'll just make it up as we go. What do you reckon, Mr. Cameraman? We're going to just slip it across there and see what happens? I'm just seeing that's still got the bottom bit. Yeah, get excited, you lot. Oh, we might be right. Well, we've got a rat's nest underneath the beehive. So the rat's under there keeping warm. Wow. I reckon Mr. Langsworth created the bee box because of this. Hopefully we don't drop it on our heads. If you hear a loud scream, just run. Oh, there we go. Heck, they didn't like that. They're like, what's going on? Yeah. We're being attacked. What do you reckon? That's not too bad. They're pretty contained.
Pull it off and cut how much you want.
Oh, snazziness. Look at that.
How long do you want?
Oh, I tell you what, look at that. Oh, hey, we're getting looked after. I reckon we'll just do a bit of a lap around. See that? The big rat's living in the other pot. Aren't they a lovely creature? Oh, that was close.
I reckon there's a purpose in the world for everything, if you wonder about some of them.
Oh, I don't know. I'm a bit curious as to what purpose the rat served.
Some of the weeds that grow too, what use are they?
Absolutely none. Although for the bees they're a bit useful. I was. The funny thing with them, with bees, is they make use of all the plants that we hate. Which is kind of weird. Yeah. You know, like Salvation Jane and turnip weed, they like that. So it's kind of funny how it works. I reckon being that I'm a bit slack, I'm going to back the ute in here. Because then I can just slip it on there, slip it into the back of the ute. And it'll be perfect. That's as well we're not smokers. Next excitement. Yeah, that's cool. That's probably the go sideways. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, good. Now let's go. Oh, what? Oh, well, that's like its own little coffin. Yeah. That's alright. Hang on, there's some more shit on the floor. In a cardboard box. Oh, that's my finger. That was your finger? Yeah. Young'uns these days, honestly. You feel that little, when they're all here on the edge, how warm they are. Yeah. Little darlings. Well, that was pretty painless.
Yeah. Did you want to see the other one round the back?
We shall have a look at that, young man. I reckon we might not do that right now because we've got to retrofit our vacuum cleaner a little bit. But we'll have a bit of a peekaboo as to what excitement you've got around the corner. This is through the oh, now that'd have to be an apricot picking dude, wouldn't it? Was that for apricot picking?
Yeah.
Have a look at that.
Well, the 3 W4s.
Yeah.
And then we had one for the lower 6, and then we put 2 trailers behind each.
Oh, wow. And then the men would be up here picking and you'd have the boxes on. Oh, I don't reckon they had any bright coloured shirts on when they were driving this tractor neither.
Well, tractor with a tabletop fitted on it so we could pick the tree fruits, apricots and peaches.
Don't you just love the humbleness of us agricultural folk? You know, like, oh, it's just an old tractor with a bit of a tabletop welder. You know how complicated that would be for 98% of the population?
Oh, yeah.
That wouldn't actually happen.
No,
and I bet you didn't go down the shop and buy any of that metal neither.
No.
No, that was out the back and that was an old truck tray and some other bits you cut off or something else, I bet you.
Yeah, well, we got a sand hill out there, what we call all the scrappy stuff up there.
Yeah, and that's where you go and you get stuff to reinvent it. Yeah. Repurposed, that's what they call it these days.
Yeah.
So you were the Pinterest man before it was bloody popular. So the other ladies are hiding in the back of the old home here. That should be interesting.
They come out the corner here.
Okay. Yep, so they've been living in there for a while.
Yeah, they have too.
Yeah. Because there'll be a beam there somewhere, wouldn't there?
Possibly. Oh,
I reckon that's solid down there, so it's not going to be on that. It'll be just about there, I reckon. That's what it feels like. Hello, you in my hair. She's saying hello. Hello, get out, get on. You don't want to sting me. Like I said, I've got a little vacuum cleaner thing, but I have to just give it a little tweak. Thank you very much. Good. That's awesome. Yeah. We'll give the ladies a lovely home. Yeah. And thanks for showing us around. That's good. Right. We will be back. Thanks, Jack. We've just been driving back from Renmark with our box full of bees, and I'm just trying to work out what to do because I've got fair few hives at the farm where they're ready for the blossom. So I'm thinking we might just take them down to Buzz Hill because I haven't got any, well, I've got enough area there that haven't got any hives next to them, just in case they've got some foul brood or something horrible in there, which hopefully they haven't. So I've been rummaging through the shit heap. What did that dear old man call it? He's got the graveyard. I've been wondering he's actually had a decent name for it. I've just got junk. So anyway, we've been rummaging through stuff. And I found this is a base of an old shuttle that I'm not 100% sure what the hell I was doing with that, but anyway, waste not, want not here at the recycle camp. So I'm going to use this as the artificial roof for our box. I've got some old tin that we're going to screw to the artificial framework, artificial roof, floor, I don't know. It would have to be a roof now, won't it? Because it was a floor, now it's going to be a roof. Would that mean it's upside down? A bit like me, I'm upside down. This is a little bit of rough. Be a bit of rough installation. I'm just having an alternative plan in case taking them out of the box they're in doesn't actually work out in the short term. We'll take a hive with us, but this is the alternative to if that goes to shit. we should put a rope on that. Golly gosh, now I've got to find a bit of string to throw over it. But just as a footnote, viewers, I've asked the young cameraman to put the trailer on the back of the ute. And I'm just noticing here, whilst I was considering the fact as to whether I should tie my load down, I just thought, well, perhaps I reckon he might have forgotten something rather important. If you're not sure, this is the little plug that makes the trailer work. So the lights on the trailer work. So I figure if that wasn't plugged in and we had our load tied on, we'd still be in the shit. At least you got the chains hooked up, that's something. Safety first, boys and girls. Holy shit, can you hear that? That might be just a little ambitious. Shh, don't tell them we're here. Oh, my poor old tailgate. The other day, I bloody had it down and I was reversing around down there. Well, yeah, here somewhere, I can't remember exactly, but I was reversing and I bloody backed into with a tree, and of course I bent the jolly hinge. So now it doesn't quite shut perfect anymore. I've got a lot better than it was because I had to really slam it, but now I only have to a little bit slam it. So I don't know. So I'm a panel beater as well. I don't know where that's it. Anyway, I'm a bloody wrecker actually. This is not a bad progression, you see. Now when you're a bee wrangler, after a little while you get a few different ideas going on. I remember the first few times we caught a wild swarm, we would have had such an excitement going on. Now what have we done? We've wrapped them up in a bit of old crappy bed sheet and they're all contained. So we'll put them over here and then we'll have some excitement, but at least they're all here. They're not all bloody running amok. So I reckon we're getting good at this shit. But let's not get too excited because we haven't pulled them apart yet. Right. Oh dear. Put it there, I reckon. No, we've got them contained. Look, we could have done that without our suits on so far. So I don't think they're going to be very impressed. But so far, so good. Righty-o, ladies and gentlemen. This is a bit like the TV show, The Great Reveal. You know, when they do the bloody kitchen reno or something and they pop the curtain back, or they bring the poor unfortunate couple back in from their holiday and they say, look, we've renovated your kitchen and we've painted it purple and put blue tiles on the wall, and the wife goes, oh, isn't that bloody marvellous? What the f*** are you doing? Well, here we are. Hello, girls. I don't know, I don't suppose they can really stay in this box, really, can they? Because if we want to relocate them a little bit, they're not going to be able to be moved like this. I don't know. It's just not really the ideal time of year, but yeah, I reckon we'll pull it open and we'll just have a look what's going on in here. I mean, it's not a terribly unpleasant day, so hopefully, I was just having a thought, if we actually get around to making our observation hive, we might use these ladies in it. We could call them the observation, what did he call these? Bloody sweatbox. We could call these the sweatbox bees. Poor little buggers, look at them. Ah, dear. Anyway, they don't know how lucky they are to be rescued by a bush bee man. Sorry, girls, they just didn't want you in the shed any longer. I think they wanted to get rid of these boxes out of the way. So they're all hanging off the roof, which is good. So now, how do you reckon we're going to do that? I wonder if we put it on the ground. Ah, shit, I don't know, lad. Because they're all hanging there, so... Oh. Let's put that one down. Oh, look at that lot. Holy shit balls. That's just a matter of figuring out which bits we want to keep. We want to keep some of the honey for them so they got some stores. Definitely. But I reckon as long as we get enough moved, even if we leave some of it, like leave it here for them to get cleaned up. But exactly where to from here. I wonder if we tip it right over. Would that be better? Like put this out of the way and then tip the whole thing on its back. Alright, yeah. That'll protect them a little bit from the sun. Well, ladies, I'm just wondering where to start. Got a lot of stuff going on in here. I reckon we'll start over this corner here, but it's nice and small. So we're just going to dig away at this a little bit until we get to somewhere where there's either brood or honey, and then we'll stick it on some frames and pop it in the box. And hopefully they can get relocated in. So we're starting to get close to home, close to somewhere where the nest might be. I'm just going to pop the whole thing in there, I reckon, for a minute. Just let them think about staying there. Obviously we're upside down at the minute, so they've got nothing much happening down here, but they've got a little bit of honey at the top. So this would have been where their brood was going to be next spring coming up. Heck, you can hear the buzz, they're getting a bit excited. My goodness, lad. This is turning out to be a lot bigger hive than I'd expected, so I'm thinking, being that the weather's sort of just going to turn nasty here again, and we're running out of time, and I'm not going to have time to actually get this done before we get too cold. So I'm reckoning what we're going to have, we'll just have a little bit of a look at the brood. Since we've got it upside down and we've stirred the poor little buggers up, we'll have a little bit of a look to make sure they're not diseased, and then I reckon we might just tip it back up, sit it back up here, and we'll come back in I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks time when it's a bit warmer, because it's still a bit early in the season for doing this sort of thing, and they seem like such a cool little box of bees. I don't want to kill them just for the sake of doing it today. See how she's got a nice circle going on here? She's mixed it up a bit. She's left the panel in there, and she's got a really good lot at the front. I can't see any bad black smelly shit, or any chalkboard. I mean, you won't really know until we completely pull it apart. Oh, look at that. She's too nice to risk, given the weather at the minute. We'll just stack her back together. And I reckon, being that this weather's bloody not being kind, and she looks like she's bloody beautiful, we don't want to lose her, so I reckon we're just going to do that. And we'll figure it out another day. Not too bad. We'll leave that bit of vent over there. We might block this corner up so as that the bloody wretched moths can't get in here too easy. Hopefully though. I don't know whether that will work or not, but I'm thinking I just don't really like this huge hole here with give them a bit of a draft. The rest of it's not bad. Look at that. Might have come up with a whole new system. A little bit of let's mend my box with my boxes. Let's mend it with their own resource. Oh, mind you, they might tell me to get f***ed too. Well, we'll cart it over there. This is my artificial roof. I don't think the girls will be too stressed out, but I don't want them. All we need to do, we haven't had a bloody rain in like 6 months, but we might luck, we'll get a blooming 2 inches of rain and drown them, and after all this effort. As I've said before, they hate being banged. It's a day of decisions today. The cool thing is about this is, well, or the bad thing about this is you all get to see us make these decisions. And we're not really sure whether they're right or wrong ourselves until we find out later on. Anyway, friggin' hell, that's a bit of a dusty ball. Don't use a hessian sack. Anyway, we thought we'd come down here and get the girls out of the scrub because we've had a bit of a look through and they don't seem to have any diseases. So we thought we'll take them back to the farm because the trees are blossoming. They might as well help out and get a bit of that in them. And then we're going to put them into a hive later on when it warms up a bit. It's still a bit chilly here at the minute. We actually, as you would have remembered, we actually had a sheet with the last episode, but that was in the washing machine. So I was past the farm and found this bit of hessian. And I was just thinking, do you reckon that is how they invented sails back in the day? You know, when they would have been rolling up some bloody tarp or something and it took off, and they would have gone, shit, let's harvest the power of the wind. And that's crazy shit when you think about where we went around the world in sailboats. I mean, my God, they were pretty clever. Anyway, we thought we'd just chuck this over the top, see if we can get these ladies organised into a bit more of a safer box. Hello, hello. There we go. It's not ideal for a migratory beekeeping project, but anyway, I thought I'd do this when I had some mussels with me, because I thought about coming and getting them last week, but anyway, you might be gone. Might as well come along for the ride and see what's going on. So I grabbed this. This is what they used to call a bit of old bloody hessian that they used to dry the sultanas on. Back in the day, they'd lay it out on the ground and they'd put all the sultanas out on it if they didn't have a rack, or if this was the extra bit that didn't fit on the rack. And we're getting old school. We've got the old bloody sultana dryer, and we've got the sweat box that the sultanas would have been in. So shit, look at us go. This is, what do they call that? Repurposing. Or, I can't have the Pinterest joke again, can I? Here we go. Just asking my friendly cameraman whether we'd actually remembered to bring a rope, because we're in a different vehicle, so this could be fun. But we'll just have a bit of a rummage and see whether the wife's actually got some shit in her own car. How about a look at this? We've got some ocker straps. Oh, we've even got a tie-me-down thing. How does that work? This is a bit snazzy. I think we might just use it as a tie-down. Don't tell her. How good is she getting all this shit organised? She's like a stopgap between all the crap that I forget. That's why we're life partners. Thanks, hun. We better get moving, because apparently when we're vibrating along, they'll stay all clustered together because they get a bit excited. Of course, as soon as you stop moving, then woof, they're frigging everywhere. Yes, it's all right in there. We're sorry. We're going to take you to a nice home, and we'll put you in the shelter, and then we'll give you a fancy box to live in. How's that? They said, yes, please. Everybody, just remind me, I've got to put the shit back in this box, otherwise you'll find it, and I'm in all sorts of strife. Or when next time I want to borrow it, it won't be there. Oh. Bloody bush bee, man, I tell you what, fuck me dead. I was wondering why it was a bit hard to back in here. We're having a bit of a push-up. We had just a little bit of resistance from this tin. Shit, I wonder which, that must have been on the trailer. We were just reversing in here to put the bees in the shed here because they're in a bit of a weird-ass box, and I thought we can just go here and do a bit of pollination. And I'm thinking, shit, it got really hard to back down the track, and so I just restarted. I thought I might have jackknifed it a bit, which I hadn't. But anyway, that's why it was hard, because the bloody tin was stuck at the back of the trailer. And I think we've invented a new plough. We could call that the 20 litre tin plough. Now, you reckon we'll put 10 of them together? We reckon we'll have a new market thing? Nope. You'll be pleased to know, look, I've got the wife's pot back out to put her things back in. They're going awful quiet. I think they're pissed off. Hello. Oh dear. Right. Now, Mr. Muscles, how are we going to get on here? We better get these ladies moved before we get too much excitement going on. They're not sure what the hell happened. I just thought we'd leave him in here for a bit. You were in here? Yep. There you go. One's hooked on the knife. Where you going? They're going to fit. Well, it fits. Otherwise, that's... It's just general, something like this. Well, we made it safe and sound. What a head. But anyway, the girls have had a little bit of a shake-up and had a bit of a rattle around. But the interesting thing is, when they've slipped off in the trailer and I put them back together, I thought, wow, they were fairly uniform, so I don't know how it'll go, but we're thinking we're going to prop them up a bit and show you why our beekeeping ancestors decided that you could put bees on a frame. Because you can see, well, hopefully we'll see, that the fact that they actually build in rows themselves. Anyway, we'll go and get some Besser blocks and prop this up in the air a bit. I'll get the trusty cameraman to set up his magic, and you never know, we might actually see some wicked ass shit. these ladies are not real impressed that they're dangling in outer space for your viewing pleasure. They're like going, what the bloody hell's happened? They've all gone a little bit spare. But anyway, I just thought it was kind of cool to show you how they are in the natural. So if you come across a beehive in your tree, this is what they're doing when you can't see what's going on. So I thought, what a perfect opportunity to share the wonders of bee magic with you guys.